It's my honor and pleasure to announce that Mr. Geoffrey Mearns will be the Northern Kentucky University's next president. President-elect Mearns, I'd like to invite you and your wife Jennifer, your family, Bridget, Christina, Claire, Molly, and Jeffrey to join us on stage.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and I feel extremely honored to have been appointed by the Board of Regents as the next president, the 5th president of Northern Kentucky University. It's an honor, as I said, not only for me, but for my family. And the search process engaged not just me, but also engaged my wife and my family as a whole, because this was a decision that we approached as a family. And it was so important to me to come to an institution that is not only strong, but is part of a dynamic community that has a great relationship with this metropolitan community and a strong relationship in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. But what attracted me was the total experience that I found here at Northern Kentucky. An outstanding academic institution, an institution that is taking a progressive and creative and often innovative approach to education. You know, higher education is under extraordinary pressures these days, both financial as well as competitive pressures. And in my estimation, Northern Kentucky is well prepared and well positioned to meet those challenges. Also, it was a community that I knew a little bit about. I lived in the Cincinnati area growing up as a kid in the early 1970s. I clerked for a federal appellate court judge, Boyce Martin, in Louisville, Kentucky from 1987 to 1988. The court that he sits on actually conducts its business in Cincinnati. So I had become familiar with Kentucky and Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. So I know what a special community this is, what assets and opportunities are here in terms of the quality of life. So it was the combination of the professional opportunity and the personal experience that I knew was available for my family.
As you look at NKU, what's the number one opportunity that you see over the next several years?
Well, what has been impressive to me is how the institution has aligned both its academic programs as well as its research mission with the community. It's prepared to serve the needs of the students, but also the faculty are aligning their research agenda in ways that support the broader community. And that's a very special relationship. There are many institutions of higher education that aspire to have the kind of relationship that Northern Kentucky has with the external community. And in my estimation, particularly for public universities, that relationship is going to be critical to success in the future.
What do you think your greatest challenge will be?
Well, I know that there are some financial challenges. I know that in Kentucky, as in many other states, including Ohio, state support for public higher education has been declining, not necessarily as the result of any legislative policy, but just as a result of a fiscal reality. And so I think one of the challenges is to persuade the legislature and others that this is a worthwhile investment, that their investment in this educational institution is so important to their futures. It's the future economic vitality of the Commonwealth and the region. So that's one of the first challenges. I think on a more substantive basis, in addition to that financial challenge, technology is changing education at all levels. And it could be a particular threat or challenge to an institution like Northern Kentucky that takes great pride in a commitment to a personal educational experience for its students. And I mentioned that in my remarks, that this is an institution where faculty know their students, they know their names, and the students feel that the faculty are personally invested in their educational success. Well, technology threatens to change that experience. So the challenge, I think, for this institution is to maintain that personal educational experience, but use technology to enhance that experience as opposed to get in the way of that experience. On a professional level, I've already had conversations with President Votruba about setting up a regular opportunity for me to meet with him or speak with him by telephone. As you know much better than I do, he has an extraordinary wealth of experience. And so I look forward to him sharing that experience with me and mentoring me. As I said in my remarks, and I mean it quite sincerely, while it is a bit daunting to recognize that I have to succeed him, there's nobody who could be more fortunate than I am to have him as a mentor and a guide in this transition process.